Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone, all the participants. I welcome all of you in today's very wonderful session by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Ravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupad. So once Prabhupada, when I have already, and in fact, if somebody asks that, I have to see the sun, so in order to see the sun, I want some kind of light. Please bring that light. I want to see the sun. So if suppose somebody asks from you, I want to, oh, please come. I will show you the sun by torchlight. So what you will say me? He is a fool. To see the sun, you don't require any light. Sun itself is very effulgent. To see the sun, you don't require anybody else's help. So because the sun is self-luminous, sun is self-effulgent, dazzling effulgence is coming out of the sun. In fact, sun is the one who is enlightening the whole universe. So you don't require any light to see the sun. In the same way, the great personalities like Srila Prabhupada, he doesn't require any kind of introduction by a cheap people, small, petty people, trivial people like us. Who are we to introduce Prabhupada? But because many of us don't know, because of our corrupted education system, which is talking us about all nonsense things, how to gratify our senses and become animal and kill the people and then commit suicides. This is our education system. This is not my statement. This is the statement of India's Chief Justice. So therefore, we don't know, many of us don't know about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the one who has, because of whom today the whole world, except Indians, whole world is now reading Bhagavad Gita, trying to understand the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life, what is the goal of life, what is the mission of life, why I have ultimately taken birth, what is the mission of this universe, is there any basis of all these things? Who gave the understanding and enlightenment to the whole universe? He is Srila Prabhupada. Today, anywhere you go in the India or anywhere in any part of the world, if suppose anybody of you makes a foreign trip, FT, in your internship or in your job, anywhere you'll go, you will find ISKCON temple of Prabhupada established by him, foreigners chanting Hare Krishna mantra. You will be surprised. Oh, I'm Indian, but I don't follow. But here, these people, and I would say you, foreigners are so rigid in their lifestyle, in their all those concepts, whatever they are following. You cannot change even one single man. You cannot change even one single foreigner to change his lifestyle. If suppose you are a vegetarian and you want to convince some kind of you want to convince a foreigner who is pakka non-vegetarian, he is into all those bad habits, and very logically you want to scientifically prove that non-vegetarian not good, you cannot convert him because he is so rigid, so very persistent in his all the activities. I challenge you, you cannot change in his lifestyle. But Prabhupada has brought about not only leaving one bad habit, he brought about the revolution in their lives. They gave up everything. In fact, their lives also they gave up to Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the one who created an institution, organization where millions of people dedicated their lives without any salary. They are working without any salary 24/7 in order to preach the message of Bhagavad Gita throughout the whole world without any salary, without any sleep. Anytime Prabhupada said you go to this world, devotees were ready to go there. And today you see ISKCON all over the world preaching these glories and thousands and millions of followers. And these followers are working very, very hard, giving all their heart and soul, day and night, fully busy, but without any salary. Like me, I'm not getting any salary, zero paisa, nothing, no bank account, nothing of sort, no luxury, no TV, no go to IPL and watch IPLs, nothing, or no sense gratification. Get up every day 4 o'clock in the morning, and you have to necessarily without any holiday, no holiday. 4 to 10, you have to every day attend morning program. Either it is winter or summer or any season. No holiday. Every day is holiday. HOLY day, not HOLI. Every day is holy day. So where from this inspiration, this enlightenment is coming among the youths? We are not fools, we are not ignorant people, we are not bribed here कि चलो आ जाओ यहाँ पर आपको रिश्वत मिलेगा. हमारे ऐसा नहीं कि हमारे यहाँ खाने के लिए नहीं था, यहाँ खाना अच्छा मिलता है. मेरे दादाजी एयर चीफ मार्शल में वहां पर चीफ मार्शल पोस्ट पे पोस्टेड थे. So it's not that ki I am here suffering, but what I got here, that I dedicated my life, left all my career, everything, job, and here I'm not saying that you also leave, but the point I am making is, what is this knowledge all about? This is all given by Prabhupada. That all whole anybody who gives proper attention, oral reception to this knowledge, definitely he will be transformed. He will become a good character person. Just we have to just every day give an oral reception for half an hour what we are conducting. Just you come and sit and hear what we are discussing. That's all. This will create only just this. You sit and hear. If you cannot perform any other activity, then just come and hear for half an hour. This will bring about a revolution in your lives. You will see after 1 or 2 years, oh, what I have become, what a change I have got in myself. Your approach in this world, your approach to solving problems, solving situations, handling competitions, all those things will be completely changed. And where from all these things will get? These are all coming from the transcendental teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So once Prabhupada was there in London, so reporter asked, why you have come to London, to our country? Why don't you be there in your country? So Prabhupada said, you British, you came to my country and you looted everything, but you forgot one thing. So I have come here to give that. So you take this also. You looted everything, but still you are so greedy. You want more, and you will die one day in this more, and you will become animal. You will become a more next life. More बन गए तो बहुत अच्छा है. More नहीं बनेंगे, कुछ hog dog बन जाएंगे. So I have come here to give you the India's gems, the gem of Indian culture. That is spirituality. That is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the timeless Vedic wisdom, the gems of wisdom of Bhagavad Gita I have come to give you. So please take this and your life will be sublime and you'll be always blissful and peaceful. So that was Prabhupada's response. So now today we are going to hear Prabhupada's wonderful conversation talk in MIT, in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Boston. Prabhupada delivered a very wonderful lecture over there to all the technological students. So I am going to share all of you the video here. I request all of you to kindly sit down with the notes and the copy and pen. You can make a note also, all those points which Srila Prabhupada is going to make here in this lecture. And then we'll, after the lecture, today we'll not be able to complete the lecture because it's long lecture, 1.5 hour lecture Prabhupada delivered in MIT. If I deliver you, you'll all fly away. You'll all fly here from here. You will not sit. Many of you will go away because we don't have time. Superficially, we don't have time. Anyway, we have so much time, but for this, we don't have time. Anyway, so I am going to start that video lecture. I request all of you to attentively hear, and you, if you want, you can make a note of this. Every word coming from the mouth of Prabhupada is like gold. It's nectar coming out. So now I'm going to share. I request everyone to kindly watch it very nicely.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितां येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. This prayer is offering respectful obeisances to the spiritual master. Why? Because the spiritual master is the person who opens our eyes, complicated in ignorance, with the torch of transcendental knowledge. Timirandhasya. Every one of us, born ignorant, and we require specific education and training for seeing things as they are. Today, I am very glad to meet you. You are all students of technology. This Krishna consciousness movement is also another technology. Unfortunately, in the modern set of civilization, there are different departments of knowledge. There is department of teaching medical science, there is department of teaching engineering, there is department of educating so many other departments of knowledge. Unfortunately, there is no department for distributing knowledge in the science of the soul. But that is the most important thing. Because the soul is the mainstay, is the background of all our movements. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a nice verse. Indriyani pararahu, indriyabhya parah manaha, manasastu paro buddhi, buddhestu ja para sa tam. The idea is that in the present consciousness, I am thinking that I am this body. Although actually I am not this body. This is ignorance. And body means the senses. I am acting means just like I am talking. That means I am using my tongue for vibration. So this bodily activities means sensual activity. But if you go deep into the matter, the senses can only act when the mind is sound. If the mind is not sound, a crazy man or a madman cannot use his senses properly. Therefore, higher science. First of all, technology of the senses. And the next higher technology is of the mind, which is known as psychology, thinking, feeling, willing. They are trying to understand how they are working. And above this mind, mental science, there is the science of intelligence. And above the science of intelligence, the background is the soul. Unfortunately, we have got technology for the bodily senses, we have got technology for psychology, but we have neither any technology for intelligence nor for any technology in the science of the soul. The Krishna consciousness movement is the technology of the science of soul. There is a nice story. You will appreciate it. In India, especially in Bengal, there are many rivers. The land is full of rivers because it is on the bank of the Bay of Bengal. All rivers are falling. Therefore, Bengal, the land of especially the East Bengal, is full of rivers. One student of technology was going home and he was on the boat. So the student was asking the boatman, do you know what are these stars? The boatman said, sir, we are ordinary boatmen. What do you know about these stars? Oh, then your 50% of life is wasted, useless. Then he was asking, do you know what are these trees? Do you know any science of botany? He said, sir, we are ordinary laborers. What do you know about botany? Oh, then 75% of your life useless. In this way, the student of technology was asking the boatman, do you know this? Do you know that? And he said that I am ordinary man, do I know all these things? Then all of a sudden there was a black cloud and there was storm and the river began to be inflated. And the boatman said, my dear sir, do you know swimming? Oh, he said, no. Then he said, then your 10% knowledge is spoiled. Now you have to go down to the river. Your life is finished. In this way, they dropped into the river and the technological student, because he did not know how to swim, so the storm and the waves grabbed him. The idea is that we are making progress, certainly, in technology, in economics, in so many other departments of human necessities. But Bhagavad Gita says that a real problem of this world, a real problem of our life, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma Mittu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosanu Darsanam. If you are intelligent enough, then you should see the real problem is birth, death, old age and disease. Janma means birth and Mrityu means death. Janma Mrityu Jara. Jara means old age and Vyadhi means disease. So actual material problem is this. Janma Mrityu Jara. We have forgotten that in the abdomen of my mother, how precarious condition I was living in. Of course, we can know from the description of medical science or any other science how the child is packed up there and how much suffering is there. The wounds bite the child and he cannot express, he suffers the suffering. Similarly, the mother eats something and the pungent taste also gives him suffering. So these descriptions are there in the Shastra and the scriptures and authentic Vedic literature, how the child suffers within the abdomen of mother. So these are the sufferings of birth. At least one child has to remain in that air-packed condition at least for 10 months. Now just imagine, if you are put into that air-packed condition for 3 minutes, now you will immediately die. But actually, we had that experience to remain in the mother's home in that air-packed condition for 10 months. The suffering was there. But because the child was incapable of expressing, therefore, or his consciousness was not so elevated, he could not cry, but the suffering was there. Similarly, at the time of death, there is suffering. Similarly, old man, just like us, we have got so many complaints, bodily complaints, because now everything, the anatomical and physiological condition is deteriorating. The stomach is not digesting foods so nicely as when I was young I could digest. So the sufferings are there. Similarly, disease. Who wants disease? So modern technology, they have advanced undoubtedly, but there is no remedy for, I'm to say, to stop birth, death, old age and disease. This is real problem. But because these problems cannot be solved by the modern scientific advancement of knowledge, they have practically set aside or neglected, because they cannot solve it. But there is a solution. There is a solution. That solution of this problem is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, that Mam upetsa kaunteya dukkhalam asasatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhing paramangataha. My dear Arjuna, if somebody comes to me Me means here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is saying, Krishna. That if somebody comes to me, then he hasn't got to take birth again in these miserable material conditions. Dukkhalayam athasakam. Dukkhalayam means the place of misery. We are thinking that we have made a paradise, but actually the place is miserable because the threefold miseries, they are there, either in America or in India or any other country, China or any other planet. The material miseries, which are three kinds, adhyatmic, adibhautik, adidaivik. Adhyatmic means miseries pertaining to the body and the mind. Sometimes you are feeling headache, sometimes you are feeling some other pain, any thing pertaining to the body and mind, there is some pain. These are called adhyatmic. Similarly, there are other pains inflicted by other living entities. They are called adibhautik. Similarly, other pains also, which is offered by the nature, by the laws of nature. All of a sudden there is earthquake, all of a sudden there is famine, or similar other, which we have no control over. So these three kinds of miseries are always there. But under the spell of illusion, we are thinking that we are happy. And the illusion means that the material energy is so illusory that however a living entity may be in abominable condition, he thinks that he is happy. You take any animal, just like take the hog, that life is most filthy life. Of course, you have no experience to see in your city hog. In India, there are many hogs in the city, and they are living in filthy place, they are eating stool, and most abominable life. But even you ask a hog that you are living in such abominable condition, let me do you something good, he will refuse to accept. If you give him something nice preparation, as you have got in India, halwa, he will not accept it. He will accept stool, because his body is meant for that purpose, and he will not like any palatable foodstuff, he will like that stool. And this is the spell of Maya. So Krishna consciousness means that if we are actually educated, then we must try to question that why I am suffering. This is called Brahma Jignasa. In the Vedanta Sutra, the first aphorism is Athato Brahma Jignasa. One should inquire about his existence as soul, not as body or as mind, because he is neither body nor mind. So this Vedanta Sutra says that Athato Brahma Jignasa. Athato means this is the time, this human form of life develop consciousness with greater intelligence than the animals. One should inquire about his spiritual existence. That is real technology. And Srimad Bhagavad says that parabhavastavat abodhajata javanna jignasata atmatatyam. So long one does not inquire about his spiritual existence. Every one of us born ignorant, because we do not know what is our real identity. Generally, we accept that I am this body, but actually I am not this body. This thing can be understood very easily. Suppose you are seeing all along a friend, all of a sudden he dies, and you say, my friend is gone. Well, your friend is lying there with all the body, hands, legs, everything. He is lying there. Why do you say that your friend is gone? Then you have never seen your friend. You have seen only his bodily structure, that's all. Similarly, at the present moment, the humanitarian work is going on, but we do not know what is the basic principle of humanitarian work. The Bhagavad answers this. Jasatu buddhi kunapet vidhatuke. A person who is in the knowledge that I am this body, and sadhik kalapradishu bhoma vidyadhi, and if one thinks that in relationship this body, my kinsmen, they will protect me. And if he thinks that the land where this body is grown, that is the worshipable land, then he is accepted like animal. Saiva Gokha. So these instructions are there. Unfortunately, we have no time, neither we have desire to understand actually what I am, why I am suffering, what is this world, what is my relationship with this world, what is God, what is my relationship with God. These questions are very important questions, and there is technology to understand these questions. And the Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedanta Sutra, all these literatures are there. If you kindly, of course, see to these literatures, you will find the solution of the problems of life. But we are not interested. That is the difficult. We are thinking that we are happy, we have no problem, although there are so many problems and we are not happy. This is called Maya. Maya means what is not. Ma means not. Ya means this. This is called Maya. We are thinking that we are happy, but actually we are not happy. And even if we are happy, how long we are happy? Suppose taking, for example, you Americans, you are the richest nation of the world. Your material comforts and everything is greater than other countries' standard of living. But just try to think how long you can remain as American. Say for 50 years or 100 years, at most. Then, but we do not know what is going to happen in my next life, because we do not believe in the next life. But actually there is next life. So, if we don't take care of my next life, and if we irresponsibly waste our valuable human form of life like ordinary animals, the ordinary animals, they demand something for eating, they want to sleep, they want to defend, and they want to mate. So similarly, if human being is also busy with the four principles of bodily demand, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then according to Vedic literature, it is said that he is not human being. Dharmena hina pasavi samana. If a human being does not understand his real spiritual identity and simply busy with these four demands of bodily necessities, then pasavi samana. He is as equal as with lower animals, cats and dogs. So, Bhagavad Gita gives you clue. It is not very difficult to understand this science. The Bhagavad Gita gives you the information of the spirit soul very simply. The Bhagavad Gita says, Dehinasmin jatha dehi kaumara jauvanam jara tatha dehantaram prati dhira sattva namayat. Just like within this body, when you are a child, you are within this body, not exactly this body, but another body which was so small. Now where is that body? That body is gone. You have got another body. So Bhagavad Gita says, as we are changing body moment to moment, dehinasmin jatha dehi. Dehina means the soul, the spirit soul, who is embodied within this body, as he is changing body from moment to moment. This is a fact, a medical science, that we are changing body every moment. Similarly, the last change is called death. But we have to accept another body. But we do not know what sort of body we are going to accept. That technology is wanting in the modern civilization. But there are 8,400,000 of different bodies, and after leaving this body, you may enter any of such body. You may become, after leaving this body, you can become American, or you can become Indian, or you can become Chinaman, or you can become God in the moon planet, or some other planet, or you can become dog, you can become horse, you can become serpent, anything. That regards, that is under the control of the material nature. That is not under your control. But if you take to this Krishna consciousness, it will be under your control. How it is possible? The Bhagavad Gita answers this. Janti deva prata devan pitrin janti pitri prataha. Bhutebhya janti bhutani madhyadinopi janti mam. If you want to enter into another planet, say moon planet, or sun planet or Venus planet, there are innumerable planets. The ultimate highest planet is called Brahmaloka. And the advantage of going to Brahmaloka is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita, that you can get a life, Sahasra Juga Parjantam Arhachat Brahmano Vidu. You can get their life for millions and millions of years, but still there is death, and there is birth, and there is that old age, and there is that disease. But if but if somebody is transferred to that planet which is called Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, or Vaikuntha, then one hasn't got to come back to this material, temporary existence. So these informations are there, and they are very scientific. They are not dogmatic. If you accept them with reason and argument and with human consciousness, the solutions are there. So Krishna consciousness is the movement. It is not new movement. This movement is at least current since 500 years before. Lord Chaitanya, he started this movement in the 15th century. So this movement is current everywhere in India, but in your country, of course, it is new. But our request is that you kindly take this movement little serious. We do not ask you to stop your technological advance. You do it. There is a nice proverb in Bengal that an woman who is busy in household work is also she also takes care for dressing herself nicely. It is the nature of women. When they go out, they dress very nicely. Similarly, you may be busy with all kinds of technology that is not forbidden, but at the same time, you try to understand this technology, the science of soul. That is there. It is not a bogus propaganda. It is factual, it is science. As science is not bogus propaganda, similarly, this Krishna consciousness is also not bogus propaganda. As science means 2 plus 2 equal to 4, similarly, Krishna consciousness means mitigating all problems of life. And the process is very easy. It is recommended by Lord Chaitanya that in this age, for self-realization, this process, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama iva kevalam, Kalau nasti va nasti va nasti va gatidanatha. Lord Chaitanya says that in this age, when our life is very short, we are not very much enlightened in spiritual matter, and we are very lazy at the same time, and at the same time we are unfortunate. So, under these conditions, the people are recommended simply to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama iva kevalam. Now this Hare Krishna movement, you may say that this Krishna is Indian name or Hindu name. Why shall we chant Krishna? But if you have got any name of God, you can chant that also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the God has millions and millions of names. So any name is as good as Krishna. It doesn't matter. Then why we chant Hare Krishna? Because we are following the footprints of Lord Chaitanya, and he chanted this holy name. We are chanting. So we shall request you most humbly that there is no loss on your part, but the gain is immense. If you take today's chanting Hare Krishna, then gradually your misconception of this life will be cleared off. You will understand your real identity and will act in that way. And the technology is so nice that you may remain in your business. That doesn't matter. Simply you have to chant Hare Krishna. Suppose you are
Hare Krishna, everyone, all the students. So what did you understand in this video? today's lecture, Prabhupada, so many points he described. So I want all of you to write one point which you have understood in today's class, and then we'll wind up. And I have made note of this, even though I have heard it many times, but still I made a note. So many points Prabhupada made. Prabhupada told a story also of a scholar and boatman, and Krishna consciousness is a technology, it is not a bogus propaganda. Like this, so many important points, very logically Prabhupada presented how there is a technology of body. Body includes senses. As soon as we say the body, body means senses. It includes eye, ear, nose, tongue, touch. So there is technology for gratifying our senses, to keep our senses in a good condition. Similarly, there is a technology to understand what is the mind, psychological department. But there is no technology to understand intelligence, and there is no technology or science to understand spirit, soul. And then and soul is back in the background. Soul is the thread, just like if I wear any mala, kanti mala, or any kind of necklace if you wear. So the main important thing which is holding all those pearls intact is the thread, which is not seen, which is in their background, but it is the holding factor. It is holding everything. The factor that is the main thing. So similarly, the soul is the main important, most important thing, which is keeping everything active. Everything is in moment. Everything is in motion. Body, senses, intelligence is working. I can speak to you. You can speak to me. These are all happening because in background there is spirit, soul. So, but there is unfortunately no technology, no institute, no science to teach about the soul. And then Prabhupada concluded that Krishna consciousness is that technology. You see, so nicely Prabhupada said that, and how he explained everything, how it is technology. It is not a bogus moment. It is a moment to free you from all the sufferings of life. Even though suffering is there, we are always suffering, but out of ignorance, maya. In Prabhupada explained what is definition of maya also. Ma means not, ya means that. That which you are thinking that I am this, that is not there actually mean. So that is called maya. And in out of illusion, out of spell of maya, we think that I am happy, but actually we are not happy. And Prabhupada then said, even if you are happy, then how long? Then Prabhupada said, you Americans, you Boston people, in facility wise, in amenities wise, in luxury wise, you are most advanced nation than any other country. But how long you will be as American? 50, say 50 years, 60 years, and then what will happen? You will die. You will get next body, and there are 8,400,000 species of life. In which life you'll go, we don't know. We don't have any control. That is the control of nature. See, these are all given in Bhagavad Gita, but we don't understand, we don't read, we don't have interest. And even if we have interest, we are misguided by so many so-called spiritual leaders today available in the world. YouTube, social media, you type anything, you'll get so many spiritual leaders presenting themselves as the best. But what Prabhupada has given, it is authorized. So one class will understand more, maybe tomorrow's class, how to whom we should approach. There are so many gurus available. Everybody is claiming I am very nice, I am presenting very nicely scientifically. But who is that person from whom we can take the knowledge? What are his qualifications? What are his symptoms? Anyway, so these are all from my side. I spoke these points. Now I want you also to speak some points from today's lecture. You can write in the chat box. So Saurav Prasad is writing, Krishna said one should inquire about physical existence, suffering. Yes, then Prabhupada included this also, that in the after concluding this story of scholar boatman, that this boatman was there and the scholar was there. Here he was a technological student. So another place Prabhupada also shares again the story in even a little longer way, explaining all the details. Here very short he explained. So there were two friends in a village in Calcutta side, and one friend got some opportunity to go abroad and study, and after coming from there, when he wanted to go to his home, he had to cross a reservoir of water. So then suddenly he met his friend, his own friend. these two friends, ये दोनों दोस्त बचपन में पहले गांव में पढ़ा करते थे, लेकिन एक दोस्त को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला फॉरेन जाने का, एक दोस्त वहीं गांव में ही पढ़ा लिखा बेचारा, ज्यादा फैसिलिटी पैसे नहीं थे, तो क्या किया वहीं पर वो फिर बोटमैन बन गया। फिर जब स्कॉलर आया देखा अरे उसका ही फ्रेंड, दोनों गले मिलते हैं और अच्छे से बात करते हैं, देन बोटमैन बोलता चलो हम आपको क्रॉस कराएंगे रिवर, तो रिवर क्रॉस करने लगते हैं, तो फिर स्कॉलर अपने स्कॉलरशिप दिखाता है ना, जैसे हम लोग भी स्कॉलरशिप दिखाते हैं, आई एम वेरी ग्रेट मैन, आज की दुनिया दिखाने के लिए बनी है और दिखा नहीं पाए तो सुसाइड करने के लिए बनी है, हम या तो सुसाइड कर लेते हैं या तो दिखाते हैं, तो ये आज का सिविलाइजेशन है, तो भी दिखाने लग गए अपने आप को कि यस आई एम वेरी ग्रेट, what is botany, what is astronomy, what is geology, what is all this। बोटमैन बेचारा ये बॉटनी वॉटनी क्या होता है मुझे तो कुछ पता नहीं, हमने तो सुना ही नहीं समझा नहीं। फिर अचानक से काले बादल आ जाते हैं और बारिश होने लगती है, तो कुछ अरे क्या है, तो बोटमैन बोलता है अच्छा ये आपको अमेरिका में नहीं सिखा था, इसको रेन बारिश बोलते हैं। और बोलता है ठीक बारिश तो बोलते हैं वो तो जानता हूँ, लेकिन ये बारिश कैसे, हम तो मर जाएंगे डूब जाएंगे। बोला हम क्यों डूबेंगे। बोटमैन बोलता है बोट डूब सकती है, हम तैर के निकल जाएंगे। तो फिर वो स्कॉलर बोलता है तैर के निकल जाएंगे, बट मुझे तो तैरना आता ही नहीं है। तो बोले नॉट 50%, नॉट 75%, नॉट 90%, नॉट 95%, योर होल लाइफ इज वेस्ट। एंड देन बहुत तेज से बारिश आती है, तूफान आता है और जो नाव होती है वो डूब जाती है, और जो बोटमैन होता है स्विम करके, इवन यस ऑफ कोर्स ही ट्राई टू हेल्प हिम रेस्क्यू हिम बट ही कुडंट, एंड द फाइनली स्कॉलर सिंक्स डाउन। सो देन प्रभुपाद, ये स्टोरी प्रभुपाद ने ब्रीफ में अभी आज यहाँ MIT में सुना है, बट कहीं और किसी लेक्चर में इसको बहुत अच्छे से समझाते हैं कैसे क्या होता है। सो ऑल द नॉलेज आर ऑफ रिलेटिव इम्पोर्टेंस, टेक्नोलॉजी का भी इम्पोर्टेंस, सब नॉलेज, होम साइंस, मेडिकल साइंस, इंजीनियरिंग, ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट, बट द नॉलेज ऑफ द सोल इज ऑफ paramount importance, because that is the driving factor, but there is no somewhere, so therefore human life is meant to inquire, athato brahma jigyasa, that brahma jigyasa is should be there. So that was the point of Shoro Prasad, very nice point. And then Harika, what to Harika said, what to say Prabhuji, every sentence of Prabhupada is like a gem to catch hold and sign. Yes, very nice, you realize this, very great, you have got the boon to realize this statement of Prabhupada, very good. Yes Shashvi, we need to take this Krishna consciousness movement seriously, and we don't have to stop technological advancement. Yes, very important. Sometimes we think अरे ये तो साधु बनाने के लिए बैठे हैं, ये तो सब कुछ छुड़वा देंगे और ना हमें हम भी छोड़ देंगे तो हमारी पढ़ाई क्या होगा। नो, प्रभुपाद सेड यू डू कंटिन्यू योर बिजनेस। तो प्रभुपाद बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल देते हैं, जस्ट लाइक दिस इज द नेचर ऑफ वुमन टू ड्रेस हरसेल्फ व्हेनेवर शी गोज आउटसाइड, इवन दो she is busy in all her household duties and responsibilities, but at the same time she will dress herself very nicely also. So in the same way, all the technological advancements is not denied, it is you continue, but at the same time we should understand the science of the soul also. Yes, very nice, Yashasvi. Then Harika again, threefold miseries are present by no one is recognizing it. Yes, threefold miseries. Prabhupada explained what are those threefold miseries. Then Ayush, what you have achieved in the whole life doesn't matter if you doesn't do worship for God, then it will not of any help for you when you will die. Yes. So then therefore we have to chant Hare Krishna mantra, and just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself 500 years before in Navadvip Mayapur, 2 hours journey from Calcutta, he appeared and gave the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Just by doing this, you will become free from all the sufferings. And in fact, Prabhupada, very interesting point, he said that there is a way to solve these problems, but today's scientific advancement, they have set it aside, because why they cannot solve these problems, therefore they have taken it and set it aside. Okay, we cannot solve disease, we cannot solve birth, we cannot solve the problem of miseries, we cannot solve the problem of death, but Bhagavad Gita says yes, here is a chance you can solve all these problems. So but we do, in fact we don't all know also what are these problems. Okay, then Rakshita, we are not this body, we actually mean soul. Krishna consciousness is eternal, blissful, not only for this life but also at time. Oh, very nice, thank you for sharing such a good realization. Saurav is writing for self-realization, chant Hare Krishna, very nice. So I hope all of you are chanting Hare Krishna. You have started chanting. If you have not started, please start chanting Hare Krishna. you will start getting the great realizations, newer and newer realization in your life, and Krishna will be always with you, guiding you, inspiring you from within, and your life will become sublime. Dheeraj Kumar, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for all these. Yes, you can say thank you me also, but the actual thanking goes to Srila Prabhupada because he is the ambassador, real personality. So we should all develop that attachment feeling. We should start reading Prabhupada's books available, prabhupadbooks.com. You can open internet, you can search in the Chrome, and you can find all so many books are available, prabhupadbooks.com. And one more thing, those who will be attending regular classes and will perform good, will take a test also. Those who will perform good will courier you Bhagavad Gita. All the We'll select top five people, those who are regularly coming and attending the classes, and very nicely they are participating and chanting Hare Krishna also. So to them we'll courier top five will courier Bhagavad Gita also from here Jaipur. So okay, Dheeraj, thank you. So Rob, there are three real problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. These problems are solved in Bhagavad Gita. Very good. Piyush, in material life there are four kinds of suffering. Okay, ye ho gaya. And then there are others in Adval Raja Sai nowadays. Before the Arju, Bhagavad Gita is like a clue book to all the problems happening in this material world. Four kinds of miseries there. Okay. Yes, very nice. Four kinds of miseries can be solved with knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Sai nowadays, Krishna teaching and not dogmatic. Yes, very important point you have passed. They are scientific. Krishna nowadays teaching is not dogmatic philosophy. And some kind of belief. हाँ ठीक है, विश्वास करो, हाँ होता है, आत्मा होती है, भगवान होता है. No, this is not a belief. This is not a dogmatic philosophy. This is science, technology. The lecture started with this only. Krishna consciousness is a great technology. Everyone should identify their real spiritual identity. Yes, very good. You all are going in the right direction. I am very happy to see all of you. Can you explain what Prabhupada said about why to take the name of Krishna only? Because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna is the supreme. So, suppose if you want to become nourished, if you want to nourish all your limbs, so what should you do? You should take the food and put it in the mouth, and my mouth should also take it inside the stomach. And the stomach is happy, then all stomach will supply all the nourishment to all the limbs of your body. And अब इसमें आप ये क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ सकते कि पेट को ही क्यों. अरे पेट को ही देना है, इसमें कोई क्वेश्चन की बात नहीं है. This is like that only. All the limbs have to cooperatively act and give the food to the mouth, and mouth should also give to the stomach. And the business of stomach is to supply everyone, all the limbs, and all the limbs will be nourished and energized. In the same way, because Krishna is the cause of all causes, the root cause of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhu. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the root cause of everything. Everything is emanating from me. All of you are parts and parcels of me. So when we chant Krishna's name, we become happy. Not that Krishna chanting Krishna's name, Krishna will become happy. Krishna is already happy in front of me, standing very nicely laughing. Krishna doesn't require you to chant for him to become happy. No, Krishna is already very happy. He's called Atma, Ram, self-sufficient. If we want to be happy, then we have to chant Hare Krishna because we are parts of Krishna. So in order to become happy for the part should serve the whole. That is the idea. Whole and part. We are part, Krishna is whole. So whole, in order to become whole, in order to become happy for the part, it has to serve the whole, and whole is Krishna. So therefore we have to chant the name of Krishna only. If you chant any other name, then suppose ऐसा ही हो गया कि आपने मेहनत किया और खाना कहाँ डाल दिया, कान में डाल दिया, नाक में डाल दिया, डाल दिया, आंख में डाल दिया, and as a no, you take the food and give it to the mouth only. So I hope you understood. So now time is also shortage of time. Time is over now. So we'll now stop. I think all of you are waiting me to Prabhu ji कब छोड़ेंगे, बोलते जा रहे हैं. Our attention is on the time. So okay, today we continued for a long time because Prabhupada spoke for such a long. अभी पूरा लेक्चर नहीं हुआ, अभी तो आधा ही हुआ. In fact 1/3, अभी 2/3 बाकी है. So in future we here if you so desire. But today now we'll stop And I request all of you to kindly start chanting Hare Krishna mantra. See, today Prabhupada is speaking MIT to MITians. So at least we are, first of all, we are Indians, and we have that value in system in our mind that Bhagavad Gita is book of knowledge. So we should start chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita. And to the top five performers will courier Bhagavad Gita. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.